Said from San Diego. Say you miss Ism Radio. Yeah, we're going to be off this week on Ism Radio. We're going to be on vacation. Bree is in Chicago, and I'm going out of town. 1804 is coming. As a matter of fact, I think 1804 is going to be pushed up to October instead of November. Because we're basically finished. We just got to do a little tweak here, a little tweak there, but all the hard stuff is pretty much done. And I think we're going to move 1804 up to October. And we really need it. So you and your son are going to be at the premiere. That's what's up. That's what's up. So a lot of y'all up here tonight. Oh yeah, I got to give a shout out to my man Marshawn Lynch. My man, he didn't stand during the national anthem, and shout out to him. No black player should stand for the national anthem. None. Shout out to my brother Colin Kaepernick. Shout out to brother Marshawn Lynch. Shout out to that, but he's always been a real one. Shout out to y'all out there in Europe. Okay, I see some white supremacists in the room talking that race baiting bullshit. Like y'all just didn't have a Nazi rally today and embarrassed the entire fucking country. You stupid assholes. The white supremacists are in here now in the chat room. I know y'all stay mad at me. Let me talk about these white supremacist bastards and the fake media and people with the fake outrage. There's a reason why these white supremacists were targeting my page, getting my shit taken down, because I was telling people the truth about them. I was warning people about them. I told people what these assholes were going to do. There's a tweet I made yesterday before the shit went down today. I tweeted, they're going to kill somebody. I knew by the way they were setting things up, by the way they were planning things. I said, their next move, they're going to kill somebody at these protests. They're going to kill somebody. And sure enough, they killed somebody today. They deliberately killed somebody. And the thing is, family, I study these white supremacists all the time, and they know that. That's why all of them follow me. That's all. They're in here right now, by the way. These white supremacists, they've infiltrated law enforcement. That's why law enforcement treats them with kid gloves. The shit that went down up there in Charlottesville today, I want y'all to really understand the significance of it. And I want black folks to wake up, man. And this is why I'm chopping up game with y'all this late, because I'm going to be on a flight tomorrow. So I don't want to, you know, I may or may not do my show tomorrow night, which most likely I will when I land to my destination. And I'll let y'all know all that tomorrow when I get there. You dig? Somebody's over there talking all in my business. You what? But yeah, those white supremacists, militia groups were up there with guns. And my thing is, I'm looking at why they're being allowed to do it. They were allowed to have guns up there. That's because they are white supremacists within law enforcement. Got it? They were allowed to beat up people. They were allowed to actually attack the police. Did you notice that? They were up there attacking the police. You dig? And in these protests, like in Ferguson and Baltimore, these are unarmed kids. They ain't attacking anybody. And they had all types of armored vehicles, tanks, rocket launchers, sound missiles, rubber bullets, tear gas. I mean, it looked like Iraq for a city block of unarmed black children. But out here, you had large groups of terroristic white supremacists who are out here killing people, and they're still handling this thing with kid gloves. They were really protecting the Nazis. They were protecting the Nazis. Got to be very real about that. That's what they were doing. Shout out to Scandinavia. The lady, there was a white woman who got killed. Her name was Heather. What is her last name? Let me give y'all her last name. 1 second. Hold on. Because I just tweeted her name. And that's another thing. That's why, man, y'all got to follow me on social media. Because a lot of folks are like, how you putting out information before CNN? Well, you got to understand the mainstream media, they're in line with these white supremacist groups. So they try their best to hide as much as they can. And they jump on it once we get it popping online, then they jump on it. You understand that? I want y'all to be very clear. Don't let the media fool you. I'm looking at a lot of these media shows and they got all the fake concern. Oh my God, how could this happen? Where are these white supremacist groups coming from? Get the fuck out of here. That fake bullshit. I've been on these news shows talking about these white supremacist groups for the longest. Now they acting dumb. Heather Heyer, that's her name, right? But don't let them fool you. And don't let them fool you with the fake denouncements too, because there's a lot of these politicians out there. They were getting up on TV, even Mark Rubio and all these people talking about how they denounce the white supremacists. But notice one thing. Nobody, none of them said anything about punishing these white supremacists. Did you notice that? None of them said anything about punishing any of these people. I hope y'all didn't miss any of that. They kept saying stuff like, we hope they leave. You see, in Ferguson and Baltimore, which I was in both, the language was real different from the politicians. If you are out here in the streets, you're going to get arrested. You're going to get punished to the fullest extent of the law. You thugs, we're going to tear gas you. We're going to get you with rubber bullets. Oh, they were telling you what they were going to do. There's people from Ferguson and Baltimore who's in jail now for protesting. Right now, they're still in jail now for protesting. But these white supremacist groups who are terrorists killed somebody. And the way the politicians are talking about them, they acting like they got into a food fight or something. They were like, well, look, these white supremacists, we got a message for you. You're not welcome here. The fuck is that? It's best that you leave. What the fuck? Listen to the language. They're not talking about punishing any of them. Don't let them run that game on you. They're not talking about punishing any of them. I'm challenging you to find any politician, any lawmaker, any law enforcement person who said they're going to punish these people for coming to their city killing folks. Understand, family, this is why I'm up. It's 12:38 and I got a plane in the morning, but I'm chopping it up with you guys because black folks need to know this, because I've seen some coons out there trying to shake hands with these white supremacists and they end up beating up a brother in a garage. So black people, I'm talking to my folks, understand this. Where y'all at? I don't see y'all. There you go. We still in here? We're in here heavy. Understand this, family. Don't show up to these rallies around these white supremacists thinking that you're going to protest. Protesting is over. These are not protests no more, family. I want y'all to understand this, black folks. These are not protests no more. You're not going to be able to show up and protest. These are wars. You are in a war right now. You are in a war. Ain't no protesting no more. I've seen a couple of black folks got their head split out there by themselves, thinking that you're going to hold up a sign and get some sympathy from some damn body. That shit is done, man. It's over. This is war now. You show up ready to go. You better show up locked and loaded and ready to protect yourself in your neighborhood. I saw one dude, a picture, some black dude, he had on some like fake chains, all of those showing out. Nigga, nobody give a fuck about that. Take that bullshit off. Nigga, the protest time is done. Dude, these people are on some ethnic cleansing Nazi shit. They're going, this is 2017. They're walking around doing Hitler salutes. Talking about hail Trump. They were yelling nigga. They were, dude, who you protesting to? And the white people who are out there with you, they getting killed too. So ain't no white mommy and white daddy to go up under no more. This is a racial cleansing that they're in, and this is a war that they've waged. And understand this, Donald Trump co-signed them today. When they tried to get Donald Trump to denounce that, and he wouldn't, he kept using these vague terms. That was Donald Trump giving a dog whistle, co-signing these white supremacists, and they're celebrating that. He co-signed these people today. He endorsed them today. Donald Trump endorsed these people. I want you to notice those outfits that many of them had on. Many of them, especially the guy who killed the lady today, he had on a white shirt, brown khaki pants. Many of them had on the same outfit. And a lot of folks are like, what kind of outfit is that? They look like Best Buy workers or some shit. They are dressed like Donald Trump when he goes golfing. When Donald Trump goes golfing, he wears like a white shirt and usually some khaki pants. So they're dressing like Donald Trump with the red hat. Some of them have the red hat. They're dressed like Trump, going around yelling, "Hail Trump." David Duke, the leader of the Klan, came out there and said, hey, we're out here because of Trump. And Trump won't denounce them. Trump has sent the dog whistle. Trump has given them the green light. I've told you that these white supremacists are going to be deputized. These white militia groups and these white supremacist groups are going to be deputized by our government, and they have. You dig? Yeah, I've shown pictures of the random black folks getting attacked because the mainstream media, they're not showing that. We got to get on code with this thing. You were in the middle of a damn war, family. Number one, what you're going to have to stop doing with stop fucking twerking and attention whoring and all that old shit. And understand that you are in a war. Playtime is over. Just stop playing. If you stop playing, that's 50% of the damn battle there. If you stop playing, what you need to do is weaponize everything. Everything is a damn weapon. I saw a brother out there, smart brother. He had a can with a lighter, using that shit as a torch. There you go. I like that. That nigga got the point. You better weaponize everything around these damn white supremacists and stop playing. Cooning ain't gonna save you, family. Black folks think, well, I'll just be a big ass coon. That ain't gonna help you. These white supremacists are gonna wipe you the fuck out, man. They have been emboldened by Trump. Trump has sent them the dog whistle that they're not going to be punished. You notice, that's what I was looking for all day, for somebody to say, we're going to arrest all these white supremacists for these murders that they're doing out here. And what's interesting, the guy who killed the lady, his name is James Alex, what's his last name? Give me his last name, guys. There's so many names. Fields. James Alex Fields. That's his name. And understand, James Alex Field deliberately ran those people over. He wanted to kill as many people as possible. That was a brazen act of terrorism. The mainstream media, they're not calling it terrorism. Now, if a motherfucker had on a turban and did the same shit, it'd be terrorist attack all day. But the James Field dude, he was with a group called the Vanguard. I think there's another white supremacist group. There's so many different ones. You know, I try not to keep up with, I try to keep up with as many names as possible, but I always try to understand that they're just one big group. You dig? Yeah, if you're not on code now, There's no helping you. Shout out Antifa, they do their thing. Antifa, they do their thing out there. But black folks, you can't, there's only so much of the hiding behind Antifa. I take my hat off to some of those cats. They out there putting in work. They're throwing hands out there. You dig? They're throwing hands out there. So I take my hat off to them. But black folks, you can't hide behind that. We got to be able to stand back to back, toe to toe, and do what we need to do with these white supremacists and be fearless in doing it. Right now, family, they have officially waged war. This is what's called the RAHOA. And I've been warning people about this for a long time. The RAHOA is the racial holy war. They've been planning this for the longest. What you're seeing now, again, if you study white supremacists, you won't be surprised. Like all the shit that's happening, I'm not surprised because I keep telling people that the shit is going to happen. But RAHOA, the racial holy war, I've done 4 fucking movies talking about this stuff. There's somebody in the room spelled it. The RAHOA is the racial holy war, white supremacists doing ethnic cleansing over here in America, cleansing out black folks and getting black folks in order, getting black folks in line, because the white supremacists, their numbers are dwindling and they feel, well, since we're dying off anyway, we might as well go out with a bang. We have nothing to lose. This is why they're going on kamikaze missions. You form a military. That's what's up. All the military black folks need to be on top of their game. We need to be, especially if we go out to any of these events, you never go by yourself. And also be careful. This is another thing. This is what, these white supremacists, somebody in the, you beat me to the punch. They're acting out the Turner Diaries. There was a book, all this shit that they're doing, they've been planning it since 1978. See, that's one thing about the white supremacists. They go for the long game. The white supremacists, they go for the long game. And they've been planning this, what's happening now, since 1978. Let me break it down with y'all, so y'all can take these motherfuckers seriously. Because I told y'all all these little symbols that they do, that they act like they're jokes. These people ain't joking. I've been telling y'all the longest these folks ain't joking. You dig? But after the 1960s, when the Civil Rights Bill and all that stuff passed and they made racial segregation on paper illegal, the white supremacists were very upset that the federal government stepped in and made them stop practicing open white supremacy. They were pissed off at that. That's why in the 1960s you would see white people fighting the police and fighting black folks, but they were really mad at the police and the federal government. So that new militia movement came back into force, where the white supremacist militia groups wanted to challenge the federal government. Yeah, all that states' rights, yeah, because they were, if you'll see a lot of that stuff if you study the history of the 1960s, they were talking about, we want states' rights, the federal government, they need to get out of our business and all that bullshit. So let me plug my phone up. Hold on 1 second. Y'all bear with me, family. Bear with me. Plug my phone up while I'm chopping it up with the family. All right. So they were talking about, did I freeze up? Can y'all hear me? You wish I can debate Larry Elder? I wouldn't really debate Larry Elder. It's a waste of time. As a matter of fact, Jesse Lee Peterson's people, they've asked me to come on his show. He has a new type of thing he does on YouTube or something, somewhere he does it, I don't know. They've asked me about 15 times to be on his show, and I've already debated him and made him look like a buffoon, so I don't want to go. They really want me to go in there to get him ratings, so I'm good. I ain't trying to get these folks ratings. A lot of these folks want me to come on their show because I make their shit hot. You dig? That's why if you go to YouTube, you type in my name, you see all these white supremacists, they get views making videos about me. I'm the only reason they get any views. They make a bunch of videos that don't get no views, but if they make a video about me, it gets like, what, 10, 15,000 hits. So it's that type of shit. So, oh yeah, I can't see y'all, man. There you go. I can't see y'all. Oh yeah, they got not even hundreds. They got thousands of videos about me. You dig? And I don't watch any one of them. I don't watch none of them. But like I was saying, man, I was talking about in the 1960s, you had these militia groups, and they were upset with the federal government because the federal government stopped them from harming Negroes. And that's always been the reason they've been mad at the federal government. Let's go back even further. Let's go back to the 1800s, the Reconstruction era, when black people were freed from slavery, which we never were, because white supremacy is slavery. The federal government came in and stopped the white Southerners from harming black people. Then they started these militia groups to go after the federal government. And then once they got rid of the federal government, that's when they started lynching black folks nonstop. And fast forward now, they want to go back to that. That's their goal. Their goal is to go back to harming black folks at will. They're tired of the police having to do it, and then the city is accountable for it. You dig? Because now black people do it. I mean, not black people, the police do it, which they do all the time. These cities keep having to pay out millions of dollars, so they're tired of that. They want just the regular Joe Blow white supremacists to just string niggas up, and everything is going to be okay. That's what they want to get back to. That's what they want to get back to. So let's go back to fast forward to 1978. I know I'm bouncing throughout the years here. 1978, a white supremacist group, they wrote a book called The Turner Diaries. It was a white guy who was the leader of a white supremacist organization. He wrote the book under a pseudonym, and the book basically outlined how the white supremacist movement can, and it was written as a fiction book, by the way, and it was written to give instructions to other white supremacists on how they could overthrow the government, cause anarchy, create a racial war, so that they could basically enslave black people. If you look at the Turner Diary, so many things from that book has come true. They talked about blowing up federal buildings. Timothy McVeigh, who was a white supremacist, he blew up a federal building, and they found the copy of the Turner Diaries in his car. They talk about how to get white supremacist groups to infiltrate law enforcement, and that's exactly what they did. Y'all need to study the Turner Diaries. I need to do like some shows and some study groups on the Turner Diaries so that people can know how deep these white supremacists have been planning their fuckery. They would talk about infiltrating politics and the whole shebang. And basically, the white supremacists, they got one of their guys in the White House. They know that Trump is their guy. They know that he's team white supremacy. They know that Bannon is team white supremacy. Jeff Sessions is team white supremacy, and that's by design. They've been planning all along. You dig? The new, yeah. So even the FBI, they've admitted that law enforcement, they've been infiltrated by white supremacist groups. So the white supremacist groups are all in law enforcement. We all looking for hoods and hillbillies and all that. No, it's way more sophisticated. White supremacists are in the media, the whole shebang. So they're acting out everything right now. They've been planning it. Now this is their last stance. Right now is very pivotal, because this is going to be a make or break moment for the white supremacist movement. And they're going to go for broke. This is why victims of white supremacy, you got to go for broke. Notice for like the last when did I do the first Hidden Colors? I started doing the first Hidden Colors in 2010, and it came out 2011. for the last 6 years, I've been one of the few people, public, now I won't even say one of the few. No, it's way beyond one of the few. I was the only public figure with access to the mainstream media talking about white supremacy. And I'm not saying that to pat myself on the back, none of that bullshit. I just observe shit differently. I'm not saying that to pat myself on the back. But I've been talking about this shit nonstop and calling it by name for at least the last 6 years. And I've done several movies about it. And I'm saying other people have talked about it, like our sister Frances Cress Welsing, Neely Fuller. These people have been talking about it for years. But as far as anybody with mainstream media access, this is what I'm talking about. People who have access to the mainstream media. I have access to the mainstream media. I have access to CNN, Fox, Al Jazeera, Russia Today. They were just at my house last week, Russia Today, and they filmed a documentary. I don't know what the whole thing is going to be about, but we'll see. But I was the only one for a long time who would even say white supremacy, because people kept using these bullshit ass terms for what was happening out here. And I'm like, this ain't nothing but white supremacy. Well, no, it's discrimination. It's white supremacy. Well, no, it's not. No, it's police brutality. But they're only brutalizing us. So it's white supremacy. Fuck all these bullshit ass cute titles that y'all want to make. I'm going to keep calling this shit what it is. And they kept trying to tell me, oh, white supremacy don't exist. Oh, don't say that. I mean, other black people, I would get on these news channels and say white supremacy, and then all of a sudden the Negroes be bucking their eyes. Oh, Lord, don't say that, Lord. They've got to get that body count down. So I was the only one in mainstream media saying it over and never deterring from that. I never detoured from that. I'm going to keep it. This is what we're dealing with. We ain't dealing with the liberals or the conservatives. I don't get into that bullshit. Black folks, this is why you got to be on code. That's part of being on code. I'm not going to let them, and black folks got a problem. We have them take us off focus, and that's by design. The name of the game is to maintain white supremacy, and the thing is, if you're focusing on it, you will come up with ways to dismantle it. So the name of the game is to get you to focus on other shit. This is why whenever you talk about white supremacy, they're like, oh, no, it's the Republicans. No, it's the Democrats. They start talking about some stupid-ass shit like that. No, it ain't white supremacy. It's classism. Then they start talking that Alex Jones shit. It's the Illuminati, the Bilderberg, the Trilateral Commission, and the black folks be falling for that. Black folks fall for that Donald, Alex Jones bullshit. And Alex Jones ain't nothing but a damn white supremacist himself. You see, he's all up in Trump's ass. He's just like the alt-right. He's one of them. After he done trick you into believing the damn Illuminati and all that stupid shit, and he's team white supremacy. So now everybody's saying it now. All of them are saying it. This is why we have to take the lead. Black people, we have to be the new media. This is why I always talk about people who write for Illinois Nation. You better be on top of your game. Shout out to Tiffany Tubman. She's one of the new writers over there. If you work with Illinois Nation, you got to be on top of shit. There's a reason. If you look at my Twitter and all you people on Periscope, shit, damn near all the media outlets follow me and see what I'm going to tweet out so they can make stories about it. They take stories from my Twitter timeline all the time. Because we have to be at the vanguard of getting information out there. And once We get it out there. The mainstream media, they don't want to seem out of touch, so then they immediately jump on it. You understand? This is why we got to stay on the front lines of getting that information out there. We got to keep our ears and eyes to the streets. Black folks, we can't be on some goofball, I wonder what Cardi B is doing. And shout out to her. I'm not shitting on her. There's a time and place for all that. That's why, I do Ism Radio. Ism Radio, we can do the celebrity gossip stuff on Tuesday. Every other day we work. We got business to handle. You dig? So, one thing I hope y'all didn't miss today, when the protest was going on and that white supremacist killed that lady, there was a police helicopter that fell down and 2 officers got killed. That wasn't none but Ogun. That wasn't none but Ogun. That wasn't none but Ogun right there. You dig? Ashe. For them, law enforcement sitting up here letting these white supremacists run amok, that wasn't none but Ogun. Ashe. Somebody said, what is Ogun? If you don't know, nigga, you'll find out later. Somebody said, what's that? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it if you don't know. Oh, that's for those in the know. That's another thing. We ain't got to tell everybody our fucking business. Because these white supremacists, they don't tell you their business. That's why they hide their business heavy. That's why they so mad at me, because I stay looking at what the fuck they're doing. I stay on them. That's why they can organize. And let me say this. I will commend these white supremacists on a couple of things. I will commend them on a couple of things. Something that black folks can learn. Number one, they quickly organize and they quickly get on code. They quickly organize and they quickly get on code and they stand on code. That's something that black folks can learn. See, we don't get on code for shit. It's always a nigga trying to get a butter biscuit. Did y'all see the video I played earlier? I put on my Twitter. Some Negro in a fatigue outfit with some of these alt-right people, and he got a Confederate flag and the nigga's rapping in front of some white folks. It's like, I call him LL Coon J. This nigga is rapping about the Confederate flag with a bunch of alt-right people. Somebody on Instagram called him Lil Cooney Vert. Like, what's this nigga's rap name? Man. But that shit ain't gonna save you. Well, see, that's the thing. Black people think, okay, well, shit. White supremacy, they getting more violent. Well, I'm gonna be safe. I'm just gonna be a big fucking coon, and they're gonna leave me alone. No, they're not. No, they're not, dude. These white supremacists, man, they do things. They're very symbolic with the way they do things. They're out there in Charlottesville, with that statue of Thomas Jefferson. I want y'all to understand the significance of all that. The reason why they're Robert E. Lee and the Confederate and Thomas Jefferson, all of these are white supremacist symbols. The Confederacy, their whole platform was white supremacy. Their words. If you study the Confederacy, even the person, William Thompson, who made the Confederate flag, he said in his own words, we're making this flag to symbolize white supremacy. His words. It's no conjecture. I mean, they were very goddamn clear. All that bullshit about this Southern heritage, most of the motherfuckers that defending the flag ain't even from the South. Most of the people defending the flag ain't even from the South, man. So, people like Thomas Jefferson, and they were mentioning a Thomas Jefferson statue out there today. Thomas Jefferson is actually considered the father of white supremacy. If you Google the term father of white supremacy, Thomas Jefferson will come up. And why was Thomas Jefferson considered the father of white supremacy? Thomas Jefferson wrote a book called Notes from the State of Virginia, where in this book, he went on and on about how superior white people were and how inferior black people were. That's where most people initially got the ideology for modern white supremacy. They got it from Thomas Jefferson. Yeah, Alexander Stephens, that dude, he went on and on about how they're trying to maintain white supremacy in the Confederacy. I mean, they went on and on about this shit. I'm going to get on that LGBT shit in a minute. Let me get on that 1 minute, but let me make my point. But Thomas Jefferson was a major white supremacist. And some of those politicians in Virginia, they were trying to say, well, these white supremacist groups are not welcome here. They're trying to do something with the Thomas Jefferson statue. And Thomas Jefferson was a real patriot. And I'm like, motherfucker, Thomas Jefferson was a huge white supremacist. Major white supremacist. You dig? No. Paris Denard. Okay, yeah, they CNN, you know, they try to act liberal, and I've been on CNN before several times. I've been up there, and I've called them out on the bullshit. I call them out on air. They put on somebody who's on that racial bullshit. I call them out, and I get it. Sometimes they want to have people who are objective and, you know, with the difference of opinion, so there's conflict. But when you are tilting the scale to a lot of coonery on your airwaves, that makes it complicit. And plus, they offer cover for some of these white supremacists, but they don't do the same for black victims. You dig? Yeah, man. So Antifa means anti-fascism. That's what Antifa is, anti-fascism. But black folks, they work with Captain Crispy, hilarious. But black people, you're going to have to understand that you are in a war. Unfortunately, that's what it is. A lot of black folks don't want to deal with that. A lot of black folks think, well, I'm going to go out here and just show people how hurt I am, and they're going to somehow have sympathy on me. And that ain't happening. The sympathy game is gone. There's nobody to feel sorry for you, black folks. We think we're going to go out there and when we need some food. Speaking of Baked Alaska, he's one of these white supremacists. Let me talk about that bitch ass. Did y'all see the clip I put earlier? The Baked Alaska, he's a major white supremacist. He's down with the alt-right and all these folks, and he's at all these white supremacist marches. Now, Baked Alaska and those folks, they were out here in Santa Monica a couple of days ago. There was a city council meeting in Santa Monica that was like a racial justice thing, and they tried to go in there and disrupt it, and that's their thing. They're trying to disrupt it. And some brothers were there and shut that shit down. So shout out to them brothers. It was some brothers who shut that shit down. And Baked Alaska, he's one of these white supremacists because he's a little goofy piece of shit. He makes his little bullshit videos about me. And they talk real tough on the internet. Yeah, fuck you, Tariq. Yeah, fuck you. And the minute they get out there around some brothers, he pushed me. He pushed me and all that type of shit. Running to the police talking about the brother pushed him. Well, he was over there in Charlottesville today, and I think somebody maced him, but it don't look like it got him that much. He had on some glasses, and Baked Alaska's, he's such a fucking drama queen, over the top, overly dramatic little bitch. He's screaming. Oh my God. I got mace. I need some milk. He's running around like Whitney Houston in The Bodyguard. I need some milk, dude. Filming himself. He's filming while he's, just like a bitch. He's filming while he's yelling. Oh God, man. I can't see. I need some milk. I can't see, dude. Are you filming me, bro? I can't see. I need some milk. He's such a fucking queen. He's a bitch. And Tony is all hugging up on him like Kevin Costner and shit. These are about the two goofiest fucking dudes. Y'all make white supremacy look bad. Tony's big fat ass talking all that shit. Yeah, fuck you, Tariq. And tried to lie about some Armenian gangsters jumped him, laying up in the hospital, looking like fucking Rosie O'Donnell in a damn hospital gown. You little pieces of shit. I ain't scared of none of them. They're dirt bags. Man. So I'm going to end up getting a Baked Alaska puppet. He's such a bitch. It's funny. I got to get a Baked Alaska puppet made with a little mullet on it and some milk. Oh, man. And then every time he bump into somebody, he needs some milk. Yeah, he don't even look all the way white, by the way. Yeah, Baked Alaska, he looks like an Arab or something. He's one of them. I bet if you look into his background, what's his background? You know what? Find Baked Alaska's background. I know his name is something. They told me his name. I forgot what his name was. I don't give a fuck about these dudes. But find out this asshole's background. He's Lebanese, right? He said Russian. Yeah. I think he's Russian. No, it's something else. He's Russian, but look, there's some Muslims over in Russia. Yeah, I need to do a skit with Oinky Jones interviewing. Oh, shit, y'all giving me some ideas. Oh, y'all giving me ideas. Let me not say what. Oh, yeah, I need to have, and I need to get a Baked Alaska puppet with a fat fucking cow with red hair to be Tony and have a knife wound in his udders. In a hospital gown. Just be hella petty with it. I know they probably looking at it now. They monitor everything I do. Oh man. Oh man. Did I see the tweets? No, I didn't see that of the Nazis with the government members. No. Man, yeah, they up in the room. Have I been on here for 45 minutes with y'all? God damn. I've been on here for a long time with y'all. Oh, yeah. It have his udders squeeze milk. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get Tony's going to be a big fat redhead cow. And I'm going to have his udders squeeze milk to Baked Alaska. I need some milk. I got to find a cow puppet. Oh, man. Oh, no, I got to find a cow puppet. Oh, God. Okay. Oh, yeah. DM me so I can find, see those pictures you were talking about, brother. Tony, the security guy. Oh, nigga, would Tony be all running up, grabbing him to safety, like this bitch ass is in real danger. Ain't nobody really thinking about Baked Alaska's little punk ass. Baked Alaska, he's like the Gloria Allred of white supremacy activism. You know, he's an ambulance chaser. He goes out here and bumps into somebody and then starts complaining and acting like a victim. They did some sucker shit earlier. It was like a lady, they got into a lady's Uber and they filmed themselves getting kicked out of the Uber. They're like, oh my God, dude. Oh my God. She just kicked us out of Uber because of our views, man, and free speech. We got kicked out of Uber, dude. And then come to find out, I think the lady said, well, hey, I had to kick them out because they were in here antagonizing me. They were talking some racial bullshit to me, so I made them get out. So that's their thing. They do little sucker shit. And then when somebody steps to them, they act like victims. Just like Tony's big fat bitch ass. He basically instigated an argument with a couple of dudes. They pulled out the blade and they poked his fat ass. And he's laying up in the hospital taking selfies. Boop, boop, boop. His big ass. He supposed to look like he in a coma, but he got a little cup of Jello and shit. Like, you ain't let that fucking Jello go, nigga. With your fat ass. He acting like he in a coma, but he had some snacks in his hand. I was clowning. They were so mad at me for clowning. This motherfucker in the hospital with Nutella stains on his hospital gown. Been in there snacking and acting like he in a coma. You fat bastard. Send me some money, dude. I'm not gonna make it. With Chick-fil-A grease on his finger. I gotta go fund me, dude. Bitch ass. Yeah, it is full of shit. Man, it's hot as hell in my house. What's my wife doing over here? What's up, baby? This boy's still up? God damn. Go to sleep, little boy. I gotta watch him? Mateo, go to sleep.
I don't have time.
Then just go to bed. You finished packing?
No.
You not?
Can you get a gown?
No. I'm gonna show how sexy you are. You sexy when you're frustrated. Why are you in my drawers? Don't put him over here. He needs to be asleep. Oh, so he don't want to be over with daddy. Come here. You don't want to. Look at this. No. No. Look at him. Go to sleep, little boy. No. He does not. Look, Mateo, look. There's some races in here, Mateo. Mateo, say, I need some milk. This is how Baked Alaska was sounding. Get him. He's hollering for you. Just take him upstairs. I'll be up there in a minute. Yeah, he's fighting sleep. Why is he fighting sleep? Man, Tina's trying to get all the clothes packed. You know. Yeah, he's 11 months. Yeah, he's 11 months. He'll be a year old next month. Man. Come back to Charleston. Yeah, I got to come back out there, man. Yeah. There's some more protests coming, by the way, family. There's some more protests. As a matter of fact, they got some protests coming up on August 19th in different places around the country because they're mad at Google. Google shut down some white supremacist employees. I got to find out the ins and outs of that. But the white supremacists, they're highly on code right now. And they are emboldened. They were allowed to kill somebody why the group that white supremacist was a part of, notice none of them got charged. Only one person. They're going to try the lone wolf thing. He wasn't a lone wolf. This motherfucker was dressed in uniform with another group. That whole group should have been arrested, just like black folks. If black folks commit a crime, they'll arrest everybody who had on that same color that day in the neighborhood. You dig? And that's the thing. What they want to do, this is what these white supremacists are trying to do, and I want y'all to feel me on this. Lone wolves are mentioned and turn it out, yeah. Oh yeah, that was planned. They tinted the windows of the cars, the whole shebang. What they want to do, they want to get to the point where they can go into black neighborhoods with the blessing of the federal government and the federal government out the way. That's why they want to shut them down. They want to be able to go into black neighborhoods and start killing indiscriminately. That's what they ultimately want to do. That's what they want to do. They want to have the freedom just to do exactly what they used to do in the South and during Jim Crow and during Reconstruction. They want to just, the average person, not nobody, they don't want to have to go through law enforcement and police training and screening and then you get fired and then you got to sue the city. No, they want the average Joe Blow to be able to just walk up and say, okay, I'm going to kill a Negro today. You dig? Without having to do it through law enforcement. It's a purge because they're trying to create an apartheid state because of their numbers. Their numbers are dwindling, and as a minority, which the white supremacists are going to be a minority here, they're going to have to learn how to control a majority non-white population. So they have to create a system of apartheid, just like what they're doing in South Africa. In South Africa, they have to be brutal in order to maintain an 80% black population, and you are a minority. For some reason, I do not know, and I've always said this, I don't know why the black people in South Africa have just killed all the white supremacists. That's beyond me. Why didn't they just kill all the white supremacists? And you ain't got nothing to lose. You already living in shanty towns. You have zero to lose. Like over here, black folks be thinking, oh, damn, I can't get no more red bottoms. You know, if I raise up and act a fool, I ain't going to be able to get an Xbox. You be thinking nigga trinkets. Over there, ain't even no nigga trinkets. I mean, you are already living in squalor with nothing to lose than the majority population. Because Europe would attack, and that's true, but you're already living in squalor. Same reason we don't. Good point. Good point. What's ridiculous? And my wealth proves this. What about my wealth? My wealth don't mean shit. My wealth don't mean nothing. The little pennies I got, that don't mean shit. The fuck does that mean? As you see what happened with our brother Ezekiel, my man played for Dallas, you saw what happened to him. He got money and they put my brother in check. They said, we're going to suspend you for 6 games because a white woman said you beat her and plus you pulled a white woman's titty out. So we're going to suspend you for 6 games. You saw that bullshit they pulled on him? They gave him the Jack Johnson treatment. They were, dude, not only was he not charged, you know why he wasn't charged? He wasn't charged because the white woman lied. The white woman not only lied, she tried to get her friend to lie, and they got the text messages of her trying to get her friend to lie for her. So they got proof she lied. That's why the DA didn't file charges. But they said, nah, we're white, we're on code, and we say so. You dig? Oh yeah, they don't give a fuck about a white woman lying because like I told y'all, all sex with white women is considered rape if you black in a system of white supremacy. They look at that as rape. And also when he was at like a St. Patrick's Day parade, there was some white women all up on him and he kind of pulled a white woman's titty out. She was laughing and giggling. They were like, oh, that's one of the reasons why we're going to suspend you. But there's other white players, NFL players, who are at strip clubs and at other clubs and at parties sucking titties and they don't get suspended. No, that's the... Listen to Mateo, listen. He's imitating the beeping of the refrigerator. He's like, da, da. Man. But yeah, that was real slick what they did to my brother, man. You know, but yeah, and that just goes to show you, don't let that money don't mean shit. Yeah, he's fighting that sleep. Yeah, your money don't mean a damn thing in a system of white supremacy. You know, a couple of black folks with a little change in their pocket, that don't mean nothing. I don't fall for that bullshit. I know I'm in the same boat as all those other black folks over there. We're in the same damn boat. I never get lost on that fact. So in Dallas, the white women love wide back Negroes. Man. Man. So can y'all see comments in here? What's the deal? Okay. There's a lot of y'all in here. Oh yeah, the LGBT. Y'all heard about that movie. There's a movie called Whose Streets? And the movie is about Ferguson. And this movie was basically, it's doing what we told y'all they were going to do for years. They're making Ferguson and morphing it into a lesbian and gay love story. They turned that shit into a lesbian and gay love story. That Brittany Farrell chick who's completely on some bullshit. We were calling her out for years. Go look at some of my tweets from last year and the year before. We've been calling Brittany Farrell's ass out for years for fakery, going down there and being sent down there. Be clear, some of these people were sent down there to Ferguson. They were, and this shows the long game of the white supremacists. They know how to get the focus off them and create the focus for something else. So they were deliberately sending these unknown Negroes nobody ever heard of. They would send them down to Ferguson and say, okay, these are the leaders of the marches down here. And all of them were gay and lesbian. That's where D-Ray popped up out of nowhere. They sent D-Ray down there and put the cameras in his face, and they said, okay, this is the face of Black Lives Matter, and this is the face of Ferguson, and Netta, and all those people, and Brittany, and the people down there, because if y'all go back and listen to some of my old Ustream shows, because I've had a lot of those folks call up when the shit was going down, they were like, we don't fuck with them down here. They're like, we don't fuck with them. Netta, as a matter of fact, people called my show during the whole protest down there. They were like, hey, man, we don't fuck with Netta down here. As a matter of fact, Netta's down here stealing money. They're down here skimming money and making money off folks and all that. When Brittany, she's another one. We had the receipts, dude. We got all types of receipts on them. They were down there. Brittany put up a GoFundMe page and for herself, and they were down there sitting in front of the police station getting arrested and then put up a GoFundMe. We need some money for bail. Got to get that body count down. So the people in Ferguson were pissed. They didn't like that bullshit. As a matter of fact, our brother, man, the late, great Darren Seals, man, very well-respected activist down there, he slapped the living piss out of D-Ray and ran D-Ray up out of there. My man Darren Seals was calling that shit out, man. There's still video up of Darren Seals like, hey, man, that Black Lives Matter, all these people, that shit is a gay lesbian movement. We ain't with that shit down her. You know, that St. Louis accent. We ain't with that down her. They need to take that bullshit over there, because we ain't with it down her. They're like, we ain't with this sucker-ass bullshit, dude. So they were calling that out back then. They were calling that out, man. And now this movie comes out, and they're like, this is the face of struggle. And it shows the Ferguson riots, and later on in the trailer, it shows that Britney chick kissing on another woman. I'm like, okay, we see what they're trying to do. We see what they're trying to do. Because this is warfare. We got to understand warfare. What they did was a complete act of warfare. They went down to Ferguson and really got rid of the black male leadership and took the focus off the black male leadership and then started putting lesbian and gay dudes up there and saying, this is the face of Ferguson. That's exactly what they did. And not only that they take the focus off black male leadership down there, they start killing black male leadership down there. You dig? So we got to understand the game. Oh, yeah, the Baked Alaska puppet is coming. I got to find a redneck hillbilly puppet. What's up, Kenny Anthony? How you doing, brother? You over there in the UK, right? I don't know when I'm going back to the Breakfast Club. I don't know. You know what, niggas, I saw Crispy. I saw a video of Crispy. Oh, it was so sad and desperate. Crispy, a.k.a. The Ashy Turd, a.k.a. Tommy Sotomayor. This nigga was in New York outside of the Breakfast Club online begging, I think it was begging Charlemagne to put him on the air. It was some sad, desperate shit because Crispy knows nobody takes him seriously. He's just a basic loser, nigga nerd coon. And he wants some type of legitimacy and nobody takes him seriously. And he wants so desperately to be on a serious forum. He wants to be on a non-coon forum. I think the only people who fuck with him are like, you know, the Louder with Crowder, Tommy Lauren, all of those forums where they need a coon. But outside of the coon circuit, don't nobody really fuck with him. So he wants to get, you know, to branch out of the coon circuit and nobody's taking him seriously. So I think Charlemagne did a Barnell Hill on that nigga. Say, yeah, you come on through. Yeah, come on through. Come to New York. I get you. That nigga standing outside the building with the crispy, crying eyes. Looking, yeah, he did him like Barnell Hill. Whatever, everybody. Charlemagne won't let me on, everybody. This loser coon. Because they know they have that coon on the show is going to just destroy the legitimacy and credibility of the Breakfast Club. So they know not to have that coon on there. You got to have some kind of credibility on your forum, and having a low-life loser, nobody coon on your show, that's going to delegitimize you. Oh, man. It's like, yeah, you come up here. Yeah, you come through. I get you on the show. What am I going to debate, Andrew Schultz? Fuck Schultz. Well, I've already destroyed him, so I don't have to debate him again. But yeah, I got my site, the Tariq Spot. Tariq Spot, that's coming soon. Tariq Spot is coming soon. The Varnell man can. Y'all got some Russians in here? Look at this boy. You need to be asleep, Mateo. Oh, they eating a cracker. What are you eating? All right, I got to start packing. I'm pretty much packed. I ain't taking a whole bunch of shit, so. My boys look mixed. Yeah, they mix with pimpin' and mackin'. Man. Just sent you. Okay, a lot of people are typing in here. Me and Charlemagne are cool. Charlemagne is cool. Yeah, me and Charlemagne are cool. Yeah, I fuck with Charlemagne. Yeah, I heard. No, Drake ain't being sued for rape. See, watch. Somebody got raped. They said, some lady said she got raped at a Drake concert, and the lady is suing Drake in Future. See how fucking rumors get started? This nigga just said in the room, Drake getting sued for rape. See, that's It's bullshit. Some motherfucker just make up stuff. And they do that with black folks too. So I suspect you might be either a big coon or a white supremacist. Misinformation. Either you're a coon or a white supremacist. Hey, look at my son here. Mateo, what's up, man? Look at you, man. What are you doing up this late? It's what time? It's almost 2 in the morning. You a baby. You're sitting up looking like you just came from the club. Man. Man. Yeah, the book is called The Turner Diaries. What, you want to look at this, Mateo? My son is trying to play with the iPad. Hold on, let me put a video on for him. Hold on, Mateo. What are you trying to do, man? All right. Anyway, let me get up out of here, man. I got to finish getting my pack on. All right. To spend some time with my white neighbors. Well, actually, how you know my neighbors are white? See, either you are a white supremacist or a coon. Because actually, my next door neighbor is East Indian. My neighbor over here is Asian. My neighbor across the street is like a Muslim or Arab rather. So I'm trying to see if I have white neighbors on my street. And I think there's very few. So all my neighbors are like Asian, East Indian, Arab. Yeah, but that's a coon would think that the only people who got some nice shit are white. That's coon talk. If those are white, no, right? They ain't black. Well, nigga just said they white, so nigga, make up your goddamn mind. Oh yeah, that you gotta call on the Ogun spirit. You gotta call on that Ogun spirit. It's 4:38 a.m. Yes, yeah. You guys are 3 hours ahead. Yeah. So anyway, so you're gonna watch Baked Alaska? Hilarious. All right. I'll let y'all know when I get there. You know, I'll let y'all know when I get to my spot. You dig? I'll keep you guys posted. It's 4:40 in Baltimore. Shout out to B-More, man. All right, let me get up out of here. So you want the coon laugh? I'll do the coon laugh. I'll do it later. It's a little bit too late. You gotta be early. You gotta be hearty. The coon laugh is a hearty laugh. You dig? All right, y'all. Y'all be good, man. And remember, stay on code, black folks. Understand, you're in war. No protest. You are not in a protest no more, family. You're in a war. You're in a war. You act like that shit. You get on a war mindset with these white supremacists. They are waging war. The Rahowa is here. You dig? Y'all be good, man.